The average rate of change of the function y equals f of x between x equals a and x equals b is the change in y over the change in x, or that is equal to f of b minus f of a over b minus a. So that might look familiar as being slope. The average rate of change is the slope of the line which passes through f of b and f of a, and this is called a secant line. So here we have this picture. This red curve is our function y equals f of x. We have our point A and our point B. We have f of A and f of B. This height here is f of B minus f of A. This distance here is b minus a. And then in the yellow we see our secant line, which completes, you can almost think of it as completing this triangle. If we have f of x equals x squared, and we want to find the average rate of change between x equals 1 and x equals 3, we need to find f of b minus f of a over b minus a. So f of b is 3 squared minus f of a is 1 squared all over b minus a, that's 3 minus 1. So we have 9 minus 1 over 2, which is 8 divided by 2, which is 4. So the average rate of change is 4. If we're looking at the interval x equals 1 to x equals 2, we have 2 squared minus 1 squared all over 2 minus 1. So that's 4 minus 1 over 1, which is 3. Let's say an object is dropped from a building and the distance it's traveled is 4.9 t squared, where t is seconds, time in seconds. So from 1 second to 5 seconds, finding our average rate of change is finding our average speed. So we find 4.9 times 5 squared minus 4.9 times 1 squared all over 5 minus 4. So 4.9 times 5 squared minus 4.9 times 1 squared is 117.6, and it's being divided by 1, so that's 117.6 in meters per second. So now, what if we just have generic times? So time equals a and time equals a plus h. So h is some amount of time that we're adding on. So we need to find 4.9 times a plus h squared minus 4.9 times a squared all over a plus h minus a. So that's 4.9. When we multiply out a plus h, we get a squared plus 2ah plus h squared. You can verify that on your own. Minus 4.9a squared. So now we have 4.9a squared plus 9.8ah minus 4.9h squared minus 4.9a squared all over h. So these two 4.9a squareds cancel out, and we're left with 9.8ah minus 4.9h squared all over h. And we can factor out an h. So h times 9.8a minus 4.9h all over h. So that cancels out an h, and we're left with 9.8a minus 4.9h is our final answer. Let's try another one. If we have a linear function, f of x equals 2x plus 6, and we find the average rate of change between 0 and 1, we find 2 times 1 plus 6 minus the whole quantity, 2 times 0 plus 6, all over 1 minus 0. So that's 2 plus 6 is 8. 0 plus 6, we have a negative 6 over 1, so that's 2. B is between x equals 1 and x equals 2. So that is 2 times 2 plus 6 minus the whole quantity, 2 times 1 plus 6, all over 2 minus 1. So we have 10 minus 2 plus 6, so minus 8 all over 1, and that's 2. So we notice that with linear functions, our average rate of change is always the same, and that is the slope of the line. Let's have you try one. So go ahead and try f of x equals square root of x from x equals 1 to x equals 16. Pause the video, and when you're ready, come back and check your answer. So to find, we need square root of 16 minus square root of 1 all over 16 minus 1. So we get 4 minus 1 over 15, which is 3 over 15, which simplifies to 1/15 is our average rate of change.